ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਟੀਮ ਡੈਲਟਾ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਰੋਬਰਟ ਕੈਂਬਲ ਨਾਲ। ਰੋਬਰਟ ਕੈਂਬਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਊਨਿਸਪਲ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਕਤੂਬਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਲੋਤੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਾਰਫ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਏਜੰਡਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਰੋਬਰਟ ਕੈਂਬਲ ਦਾ। Robert, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Harpreet.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you. So, first of all, you have been a long time counselor, 19 years, and your experience in this field is well versed with everyone. Everybody knows you in Delta. Delta has grown in a big way. A little bit about yourself. When you started off on this journey, what is your background which prompted you to jump into this public life?
Well, that's a very old question now, a long time ago. Well, I had an interest in the community and back then, and I was involved with a community group, Tawasin Homeowners Association.
Right.
And they asked, through that, I got asked to run with Lois Jackson in 1999 when she first ran for mayor. Mm-hmm. And I said yes. I didn't have any expectation that I would get elected, but I did, and I've...
And this journey has continued since then.
The journey has continued since then, exactly,
wow.
Yes.
Wow. And Delta has grown also in a big way in all these 19 years.
Yes.
What has been your experience being a councillor in Delta? What all achievements, there are many, but what major achievements do you think your municipality achieved during this period?
Well, there's a couple that stand out. One is that Delta now is debt-free.
Right.
And that's a very huge achievement, I think, and that's been a wonderful thing to see happen. Two, the purchase of Burns Bog, I think was very, very huge achievement for the people of Delta to be able to preserve that. And three, just overall, I think in the 20 years or 19 years that I've been on council, and the Delta has grown into being a much better and safer community than it was at that time.
Right. So this time, because Louis Jackson is not running again for mayor, so again, there are now major two slates over here. So you went in for Team Delta. Any particular reason for that? What corroborated or what resonated with you that you selected this team?
Well, after last election, when Lois Jackson said she wasn't going to run anymore, and that was her last time, and she was acclaimed, I looked around, and there were a lot of people that thought they were going to be the next mayor of Delta or could be the next mayor of Delta. And I made the decision just to myself that Sylvia Bishop was the only person that could be the next mayor of Delta. And so Sylvia and I formed a relationship over the past few years, and it's worked out.
Right. So now, as you've talked about the achievements and the way Delta has grown, that's really incredible. And of course, your policing is well known. People are proud of the kind of police services which are provided in Delta. But along with that, there are many challenges also, the way Delta is growing. What do you feel as a councillor that what needs to be addressed now? Because of course, while we are harping upon the laurels what we had in the past 19 years, but now the challenges also which are growing with the city expanding, more and more people coming, what particular things do you feel which need to be addressed?
Well, there's always the issue of traffic, Harpreet.
Right.
You know, people always talk about traffic. You can get anybody to talk about traffic. And I don't know that we'll ever make things, completely better, but we're always working on traffic issues, and traffic's a very big thing. Community safety again. I think we're very, very, very proud of our police department and very pleased with the way that they respond and work with youth. And I think so going through that, we have to keep youth engaged in the community, give them things to do. That's one of my passions, is parks, recreation, and culture.
Right.
And I believe that we need to give our young people a range of options to be able to have things to do to keep them away from bad habits.
That's wonderful. In these 19 years since you have been a councillor, what would be you are most proud of, some of the things which you as a councillor, you stood for the people? Can you elaborate on those?
improving our recreation facilities, I
Right.
think. You know, I've been chair of Parks, Recreation and Culture Commission for a long time.
Okay.
And you know, it's my passion in the community to
Right.
see all of our facilities serve as many people as they can and be a benefit to the community.
And of course, a lot of improvements being made to your recreation centers now, especially North Delta. We are
Yes.
finding there are a lot of things happening over there.
Yes. Well, we did a big improvement, a big renovation at North Delta Recreation Center.
Right.
We have the replacement of the fire hall Center for the Arts, undergoing construction right now. That'll open early next year.
Right.
That'll be a huge asset for the North Delta community. And we hope to be able to do more improvements at Sun God.
Right. You have a long track record of being in public service, and you have been interacting with the public at large. But of course, when elections are there, then definitely you have to go and door knock, and there's a different kind of involvement of the politicians with the public. Now, when you're going and meeting the people, what are the major issues which they are bringing forward?
Density. I think people have a legitimate concern about density and where that might be going over the next few years.
Right.
And you know, they, like you say, Delta has grown, and I think part of our message is that yeah, Delta has grown, but it hasn't grown that much. You know, the population change in the last 6 years has only been a couple of thousand people.
Right.
You know, we've made some major changes in the way the community looks,
Right.
but the actual population hasn't changed that much. And I think that's a message that needs to get through to the people, that in the future, in the next 10 years, the community look and feel will change a lot, but the actual population will not change that much. It
Right.
will only grow 5,000-10,000 people over the next 20 or 30 years.
So your focus will be as a counselor that when we talk about the density of population, or when we talk about the ALR, that needs to be preserved, but along with that, some affordable housing needs to be focused upon.
Absolutely, that's what we need to do. Is, like I say, we need to change the way we're looking at our housing. You know, it's not a matter of putting more people into the community, but it's a way of providing more options for the people that are here now. You know,
Right.
and saying, look, you know, you can have we need to have townhouses, we need to have condominiums, we need to have smaller homes, we need to have larger homes too,
Right.
for people who want to put their multi-generational families all
Right.
under one roof.
Great.
You know, we need to be able to provide those options or for everybody.
Right. While, of course, elections are a little far away, still we have time. We'll be getting you back here again with some hot topics at that time. But just for your our viewers' knowledge, say, what are your hobbies? How do you spend your time when you are free, if you are free?
I like to walk.
Okay.
You know, I used to have 2 dogs, so I did a lot of walking. They took up a lot of my time. But,
Right.
I don't have a lot of free time. So,
Right. That's why I said
you
if
know.
you have any free time, right? Because in public service, you are always involved in one way or the other.
That's right.
Great. Towards the end, a lot of viewers who are in Delta, what would be your message to them? Why should they vote for Robert Campbell?
They should vote for me because we're my experience in the community and what I represent, and I represent a sound fiscal management and responsible government. We have shown a track record of doing that over the past 19 years, and I believe that Team Delta, led by Sylvia Bishop, will continue that into the future.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you and best wishes. And we will have you back here with some more attacking questions. This is just a normal, introduction to the public about you, what all you have done and who you are. Thank you very much and best wishes.
Well, be glad to be back here anytime, Harpreet.
Thanks, Robert. Thank
Yeah,
you.
You're welcome.